We'll now have a meeting open with prayer. Dr. Reisinger.
Lord, we thank you for today and the opportunity we have to be here and serve this institution and its students in this community. Thank you for this school and what it represents and its history and its future. Just give us the wisdom tonight to hear the information and make good decisions going forward. And just thank you for all the people in this community that have supported this school for so many years and that will going forward. These things we ask.
Amen. Thank you. All right. Has anyone signed up to speak? Okay, we'll move to item number 3, consider and discuss Kaufman Central Appraisal District resolution. Y'all have before you the Kaufman Central Appraisal District resolution. They're seeking, as y'all know, Kaufman's one of the fastest growing counties in the country. And last year they wanted to come up with a building plan, which was not approved. And now they're looking for some land to build on. We can approve this, or if we take no action, it's a yes vote. That area is growing so much, it seems they need to some room to expand, but I'm opening the floor up for discussion. Hearing none, do we hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Motion second, made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Dr. Morrison.
All right, for my report, I have some guests with us tonight to present the board's trophies. First up, we have our 2026 NJCAA cheer champions in the house, and they would like to say a couple words and present the trophy to the board.
Oh, cool.
You might have to recruit some folks for that.
All right.
And that's back-to-back NJCAA national champions.
Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing great tonight. I have a speech. I did write it down just because I work better that way. My speech is about what it feels like to be an athlete, not just a cheerleader, which I am a cheerleader and so she for Trinity Valley. I put to be an athlete is more than putting on a uniform. It's the feeling of improvement that I strive for each day. The feeling of excited butterflies in my stomach when I wonder what the day holds for me. Being an athlete feels sore, but also disciplined and prepared. As an athlete, I find myself feeling lost or stressed at times, but with those times comes feelings of being accomplished and proud. Being an athlete has allowed me to gain serious confidence in everything I do. From that, I will forever hold high expectations for myself. Thank you.
Petra, did you want to say anything? That's fine.
To say something.
Yes, Coach AB.
Hi, yes, I'm Coach AB. I'm one of the new assistant coaches for the cheerleading program. And I'm new as of this semester, but I just continue to be so impressed by these kids and their hard work and how much they show up and truly care about the school and what it means to be a Trinity Valley forward. And we just can't thank the administration of the board enough for your support of continuing to put them on national stages where they continue to show their excellence. And I just can't thank y'all enough. So nice to meet y'all. Thank y'all.
Next up, we have members of our Student Government Association. They just won their 11th in a row Region Chapter of the Year. And Dr. Courtney Lewis was recognized as advisor for the 4th time out of the last 5 years or something. 4 out of 5 or something. So, guys, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Bailey. I have the honor of not only serving as president of our local chapter, but I get to represent TVCC Athens on our regional executive board as secretary. Just blessing after blessing. I'm also a student ambassador, our Redbirds here on campus. I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for allowing us the fun to travel and to keep moving as an association, keep doing all of our events, all of our community service projects. This is genuinely because of y'all. Not only that, this year, we were very, very proud to announce that we were able to take home our 11th regional chapter win. And then our, again, 4th advisor win. These wins allow us to advance onto the state level. So we get to not only compete in these two, but we also get to compete in other categories such as song, poem, event of the year, community service of the year. Our association works very hard starting in July with officer training where we plan all of these events. We book all of the rooms, any speakers that we can. We make sure that all of the dates and times are set. And that we're just, once it starts in officer training, it doesn't stop. Once we get all of our recruiting up and we get everybody involved and everybody really excited, then we're able to really, really work together. So we get to do fun things on campus and we get to do fun things off campus. Like we get to travel and we get to do a bunch of community service around the area. And yeah, it's really, really fun. And it's really eye-opening as a student at such a young age to be able to do stuff like this, where we get to come up here and speak to you guys. We'll go ahead and let Alicia. Sorry.
So my name is Alicia. I am proudly representing the student government as the Vice President of Membership and also the state of Texas in the position of the historian for the Texas Junior College Student Government Association. Recently, we have just competed at the regional level as the advisor and chapter of the year. Our delegation has worked hard on these submissions and proud to share that we are advancing to the state level this April. Our regional competition was nothing but short of thrilling. We walked away with wins in both categories, with a huge honor and a reflection of dedication, hard work, and heart that our student government and advisor, Dr. Lewis, brings every single day. We are incredibly excited to carry that momentum forward and to prepare for what we have for the next competition. We also want to thank and take a moment to express our gratitude to the Board of Trustees. Your continued support, guidance, and investment into our student leadership have opened doors that allow us to pursue opportunities like this. Because of your commitment, our students are empowered to grow, lead, and succeed. Thank you for paving the way for TVCC to live up to its reputation of home of the champions.
Haley, real quick, what number are y'all going after when you go to state?
For state, we are going after number 21 for chapter of the year. This year, we get to go in April to Dallas at that state convention. Again, Alicia represents TVCC on the state board, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going for number 21. So
Right.
Thank you.
yeah, big repeat. It'll be 3 years in a row.
Thank you, guys. One last award to present to the board at the 2025 Greater Athens Chamber of Commerce Awards banquet, our gala. Trinity Valley was awarded the 2025 Visionary Award. And that's a testament to our leadership team here at the college and all the things they've been doing over the last year plus in making this institution what it really is. So thank you to my leadership team and the board for their support and the chamber for this recognition of this award. And guys, y'all don't have to stay. Okay. All right, next up, we're going to have Jason Smith going to give us an update of the Health Science Center, and then we'll have enrollment update from Tammy.
Up back to Pollard.
Did you not bring a trophy?
No, didn't win anything.
Well, you were selected as one of the few drummers to be presented. Please share that with the board tonight.
Okay, so back in at the end of January, I was selected to play in what's called Rockin' 1000. Out of 80,000 applicants that they had, I was one of 250 drummers that was picked to go perform in New Orleans, and I was able to play with that group. And there's musicians from all around the world, so it was 1,000 musicians playing together. And we ended up doing 16 songs and did 3 days, but it was quite an accomplishment for me. So,
We just win at everything, right, as a school?
yeah. A lot of fun with that. Okay, Health Science Center. So we are doing great. We have about 540. I'm short, but my word. 504 students. 69 of those students are on Athens, have 16 in Palestine, and about 419 at the Health Science Center. My ADN program, largest program going, we're going very well with that, about 254 students total. In the summer, we'll start 60 to 65 of the transition. Those are LVNs and paramedics. And we have been working very hard to retain these students. And if you look at the Board of Nursing, you will actually notice that we've done a very good job at retaining, where in 2022, we had 99 graduates. And then in 2023, we had 135, 124 in 2024, and 139 last year in 2025. So we've done a pretty good job at retaining them, maintaining a high pass rate on the NCLEX in the 90%. We did dip a little bit in 2025 to 87%, although we were still above the national average on NCLEX. And we did that with a building that didn't have a building that didn't have a roof. So I think the staff and the students did really well. Of course, it's going to do that when I'm up here. So even though our NCLEX pass rate dipped a little bit, it was still above the national average. Did very well with that. Our RN to BSN, we're going very strong with that. That's actually getting so full that we're having to put people on waiting lists. Now, right now, I have 20 juniors and 27 seniors, a total of 47 RN to BSNs. But and there is a little bit of attrition in there, not as much attrition as I do with the ADN program. But right now, the waiting list, we could only accept the 30 students, and we had to put the rest on a waiting list. We're actually considering increasing that number by a little bit. Cannot increase it to where the faculty can't manage it, but we're considering increasing that number. I'm very proud of getting the baccalaureate degree out and graduating students each semester. My vocational programs in Palestine and Terrell are doing good. Now my Palestine, they didn't make the 80% boards this go around. They had to take a smaller cohort last year due to only having one instructor. When you have 10 students and 3 of them don't pass the NCLEX, that's a lot different than having 139 and 10 of them not passing. So it really decreases the percentage. We're going to do a self-study that we'll submit to the Board of Nursing, and we have hired a second instructor. Do not see any problems in the future. And we were able to take 18 students this time in Palestine. So we're kind of back up and running in Palestine. Terrell Vocational Nursing, we have 25 students and had a 93% pass rate on the board. We have all the various other programs. We have pharmacy tech, that's going good. Just went through the reaccreditation. We'll hear from them sometime in April. My surgical tech program is going good. They're getting ready to do their reaccreditation. We do that in March. Have medical assistant, certified medical assistant going. That goes real well. We're doing a little bit of reconfiguration with that program to align it better with the coordinating board and get our certificate a little bit less messy, but that actually is going pretty good. I did hire a new instructor for that program in Terrell. The other instructor we had in Terrell, she resigned, so we were luckily able to find a replacement. Patient care technology, that's going pretty well. I have 7 students in that. We were struggling at one point in the spring to get students, and now we're filling that. And then we have our CMA program at the high school, which is at the Health Science Academy. And that's actually overflowing with 31 juniors and 25 seniors. Those students will graduate to become a certified medical assistant. at the end of their high school. EMT going strong. Actually, it's very up in Athens. Before in Athens, they have about 10 students in the EMT basic, and we have 17. So 18 in Terrell, 17 in Athens. That's actually good numbers for our EMT program. Paramedic, we got a little bit of a struggle in there. We are going okay with the School of EMS, struggling to get the students through. So I'm down on numbers in that, but we got some strategies to get those students through in the future. One of the biggest things we struggle with is clinical rotation sites. That's not just us, that's the whole nation that struggles with clinical rotation sites. 10 years ago, you could come into a hospital, you didn't have to fight for spaces. The Higher Educational Regional Councils, called HERP, that limits community colleges. So a community college has to stay within its service area or obtain permission from the school that's in that service area. But they're not very willing in Tyler to give, their spots up, like we're not very willing to give our spots up to students in Tyler because we're limited to the areas that we're limited to. The one hitch to that is that universities aren't bound to HERP. A university can go anywhere. So there's been a flood of universities with nursing programs that are coming in and they're taking our spots at the clinical areas. And there's not really much that we can do about it except keep up the fight. But we are trying to come up with new ways and new places to do clinicals. It's just it's going to be an issue until something gets resolved with the state. The state's in talks now about coming up with a system for scheduling clinical rotations. I hope that they'll include the universities in there. So some new things we're looking at, our ADN program, we're going to what we call a dual admission. So right now we currently admit about 120 students in the fall. When we do that, we limit ourselves by not admitting any students in the spring, and there's students that are going to TJC and UT Arlington that were ready to come to nursing school, but they couldn't because they couldn't start in the spring. Also, when you have a class of 120 students, very difficult to keep up with 120 students, keep them engaged, make sure that they're learning, and to do the activities. So what we're going to do, and we're going to decrease the students to 60. We're going to start one in the fall, and then the next spring we'll start another 60. That won't decrease our numbers. It will just decrease our starting point, and we'll still graduate the same numbers with the hope to retain more students. That way, as we can focus on a smaller group. Dr. Tiarina has been helping me with this to come up with a plan on implementing this. Most of the programs do this. It's really time for TVCC to step up and do a dual admission. That way we can focus on our students, retain our nursing students, and supply nurses to the public. There will be a turnaround period at some point, and it's going to be a little difficult as we have a higher number in one cohort because you have to transition at some point. We're still looking at adding a sonography program. We've talked to Angelina College, and they may be willing to sell us some sonography equipment. So we're hoping to purchase that at a reasonable price and get going on our sonography program. And we've talked about sterile processing. It's difficult to get programs going, but we want to get some programs going in addition to the programs we got. Another one we could consider is medical lab technician. A little bit further down the road, respiratory therapy. All those have hoops because you've got to go through accreditations, and a lot of times you have to hire somebody for a whole year to develop the program, and they have to be in place before they'll even accredit or even let you enroll one student. So it just depends on the various hoops you got to jump through. Do they need a master's degree? Things like that. One of the big things we did on the 14th, Valentine's Day, we did our Repair Bear event. So we had over 100 children that attended, and it was an amazing thing for the community. the children would bring in a stuffed animal that they would want repaired, or we would have an adoption center where we provided a little animal that they could take in and get repaired. We took them down to the big classroom. We did a pre-admit. I had one of my nursing instructors acting like she was an admissions clerk with an accent. And we would bring the ambulance stretcher down and put the child on or the bear on the ambulance, maybe the child too. And we brought them down to the skills lab where they went into the pre-admit area, did a pre-admission, took them to the operating room. They'd sew the bear up, take them back to recovery, give the child a prescription. They would take the prescription to the pharmacy, get a toy, get some candy. We had food for them, various events. It was such a great event to see all those children come there. We did raise about $1,820, and there's some more money out there from the sponsors that helped sponsor that. And I think Shady was there taking pictures, so when you get to look at those, you'll be really impressed. They even had the Terrell Tiger mascot get up on the operating table, and they sewed him up. And that's really it about the Health Science Center.
Any questions?
Jason, is there anything you need?
Um,
I probably wish I hadn't asked.
yeah, we always have, I need sonography equipment.
Okay.
So if I can get him to, give me a good price, that's really what I'm needing. We're working on some things with some grants. And that'd be my big thing.
How far are you along on accreditation?
We just reaccredited our ADN program. We get a final say-so about the middle of April. So they found one thing. We had written in our paper, it said that 80% of our graduates will be employed in nursing by, 6 months. And what they wanted it to say was 80% of our graduates will be working as an RN in 6 months instead of nursing. One word. And we went through up to 2.5 days of reaccreditation with that. I think we did a pretty good job for one word.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you.
Have equipment vendors offered any help for your equipment you need?
No, not really. The prices, you're talking $125,000 for a machine.
Yeah. Okay,
So maybe if I can get them half that.
all right.
You should be able to get that money for him.
Thank you, Jason.
Our last update is from Tammy on our spring enrollment.
Good evening, board. Enrollment's looking really strong for the spring semester. We still have about 3 weeks worth of registration until we hit spring break, and then our 8-week 2 will start that Monday after. Right now, for head count, we are at 6455. The pack, I know what was put in the packet, I went ahead and sent that from last Monday. So the numbers that I'm giving you tonight were as of end of business on Friday. So another week's worth of registration. So 6,455 in head count. That is 8.07% increase over head count spring of 25. And we are at 4579 FTE, and that is a 6.11% increase over spring of 25 FTE. Any questions? I'm happy to answer those.
Thank you, Tammy.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the number 5, consider the minutes of January 29th, 26th board meeting. Y'all have had this was sent to everyone. Did anyone have any discussion, any changes, or if not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
And Dr. East. Second. All that motion made and seconded, all in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign, motion carries. Consider and discuss the business financial investment reports for December 2025. Mr. Hopkins.
Yes, sir. Board, we're, just real briefly, you all have this in your packet, but we're reaching that point of fiscal year where we kind of see revenues start to peak, and I'll just point out a few things. Our tuition fees, you can see that's still 8% in the last year, 778,000. One interesting thing that, to my comment, if you look at ad valorem taxes, you'll see that it went from 17.7 million in December to 23 million in 1 month. So the point being of the 32 million in your budget, it comes in pretty much this time of year. Now, and we spend that down the rest of the year, which makes that excess that we have very important when you get to July, August timeframe. And just to point out that at this point, we're at 17 million revenue over expense versus 13 last year. Most of that is because of the 1.9 million more in state appropriations and at that December timeframe, 1.1 million in ad valorem taxes plus the increase in tuition is where we got it. If we'll go on down to the investment report real quick. Again, everybody talking about cap reserve, we're still stating 30.4 million. I will tell the board that as of today, we did transfer the 8.1 million from the prior year to cap reserve, and we'll be advertising for CDs this week to get that money vested probably a little bit longer term. Next page is your cap reserve activity. One thing I would point out about this, it looks like a lot of, remember the college was closed a good part of December. So not as many things flowed through that month. And the last page, as we always do, is the over 25,000. The two big things in here that you'll see that are not other than taxes, retirement, something the two payments on the softball field as that project continues towards completion. Very strong position. We're looking pretty good. And that's about it.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Hopkins? We're going to hear a motion to approve the financial report as presented. Joe Crow and second by Ellen Day. Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Number 7, consider and discuss bank depository services.
Board, this is once again our renewal with Prosperity. They've done a very good job and do this at no cost to the college. And they've been very good partners as fraud and all sorts of things have increased for most everybody. They have been good partners with us using positive pay and other tools to help us keep that down and protect us from the people trying to do harmful things. So we would recommend that we renew our contract for another year.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, made, second by Mr. Day. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Number 8, consider and discuss corporate authorization resolution, American National Bank.
Again, board, this at every campus we have a bank that we're there locally that they can deposit funds. It's been a while back that we had changes in staff out there. This is a resolution. Sometimes the banks will not just do things with my signature. This is an opportunity for us to get Deborah Earhart and one of her staff to be able to handle petty cash checks is all this is. And the names they had on the documents were previous staff. So this is just making them not give us grief about people they don't know coming in. Sign a page.
All right, any questions? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for bank signatures.
Second.
Second by trustee Morton. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item number 9. Consider and discuss rodeo RV parking project.
I'm gonna let Marcus present this one to the board.
Board, this is a request for funding to install parking pads at the TVCC ranch for our rodeo student athletes. As you may know, our rodeo team have these large trailers that they park out at the rodeo arena. And I think of them as RVs because they actually live in these trailers as well. But currently, they just park on dirt. There's no power or water hookup capabilities for them out there. And so the college would like to provide for these student athletes to be able to have a pad on which to park, as well as power and water hookups for their trailers. And you see the itemized breakdown of the cost there as well.
And there's already a dump station there, right?
That's correct, yes.
And weren't we doing something about, to protect them from weather?
We're still looking at grants on that.
Okay.
We've actually got a lead on one that Ariana is visiting with to see if there's a potential on that as well.
Are they living out there
Yes,
in their
sir.
trailers?
Yes. At least while they're at the ranch.
I don't guess I understand.
How many do
Do
we
they
have?
not have other places they live, or are they really living in their trailers?
They have the kind that has the
Well,
horse.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to understand, is that what they're doing?
That's my understanding that Jason.
Some of them do. Some live in the dorm. Some have some fancy,
Well, I mean, I know they're nice, and I just was curious.
and many of them are gone on weekends anyway, chasing
Understand that.
different events. And so,
Is there a big liability for us?
I mean, no more than them staying in the dorms.
How many are we talking about?
I believe it's 8 to 10 pads out there that we'd like to.
You know, generally speaking, you know, if you've got one of those trailers, you sort of like to have it plugged in, hooked up, whether you're living in it or not, just sort of keeps everything better, and they, obviously, if they're out there, but they're not practicing that, they don't have an arena out there, do you?
Yes, sir.
That's what they're practicing.
In fact, they park
So
right
they're
by
staying
there.
there. All right, that's fine.
We'd like to have some hot coffee.
And we have a restroom facilities out there, right?
So we're working on that as well.
Like to make a motion for this. I've been out there and have visited, and there's a great need, and our rodeo is really doing fantastic. So I'm for this.
I'll second it. I was there too. Yeah, it's pretty-
Got a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Did you mention about the bull rider that wanted?
I failed to mention Jacob, won the Texas A&M rodeo for the second year in a row in bull riding. So
That's a big deal.
he's probably well on his way to Casper this year. So that'll be exciting.
Item number 10, consider and discuss Cardinal Gym floor replacement.
All right, we're bringing this to the board to ask to spend out of our contingency fund. Over the last 14 to 16 months, we've been having some big issues with our gym floor. Humidity issues, floor gets resurfaced twice a year. We brought in a group to give us analysis. The floor is nearly 60 years old. It's the original gym floor. And so we would like to replace that floor come April with a brand new floor. I think we got our money's worth. I think it was when was it 1960 something was installed? I mean, it's
the original.
It's the original floor, and it's been
used.
It's been used. So we're just asking the board. You know, we do currently have $5.4 million in contingency. We'd like to ask to use $224,000 in contingency to replace the floor.
This floor gonna have a 60-year guarantee on it.
I don't know if you get 60 years anymore out of floors. I mean, we have a lot of activity on our floors.
long will it take to get this accomplished?
Marcus, you got the timeline, because we also have to complete another project that was not able to be completed last December on filling in the windows. We have a short 3-week timeline.
Right, so they'll come in, they'll demo the existing floor, they'll need to bring in the wood and leave it for a period of a number of days in the gym in order to condition the wood, and then they do the install. So I don't have the exact timeline laid out yet, but we'll get started after, after the gym is free, after basketball season and cheer no longer has a need for it, and we'll have everything ready to go quickly.
3 to 6 months or just?
No. It'll be ready well before the athletes show up in the summer.
Yeah, they return back July 1st. So this will be complete between April and the end of June.
And volleyball starts July 1st.
Yeah, all of them come
Roof
back.
and
Start practice.
everything's in good shape over there. And I mean, I hate to put this floor in if you got a leaking roof on.
Yeah.
Right.
You got,
The roof is the next in line after we're doing the cafeteria and bookstore building this spring. We've done the lower part of the Cardinal Gym roof. The upper part is next in line. And so we're making do with it, but we will need to replace it.
I think that needs to be done before you put the floor in.
We won't be able to do it before we put the floor in, but we have not had significant
Okay.
leaks coming down on it.
And they're also going to make sure we're not getting moisture from any external penetration that may have led to some issues with the floor as well. They're going to make sure everything underneath of it is sealed as well.
Where is Elite Gym from?
Good question. Our athletic director was working with them. Longview, my assistant. Oh, it's on that. Longview.
Good answer.
She actually read it, huh? Good job.
Do you have to refinish it as often? I heard you were refinishing it twice.
We will continue twice a year just because the amount of utilization that we have on the court.
I think that proposals, that's what it's saying.
So
That's what's standard. I believe we had been only been doing it once a year. And we're going to ramp up to do it twice a year, but we were
Most
talking
high
to
school
vendors,
just
not what they
once a year.
yeah.
I know that, right now, they're jockeying between the cheer team, both basketball teams and the women's volleyball team are all in there right now. And so you'll see a practice for one of the squads start at 6:30 or so at night. So it's used quite a bit. And
Yeah, they're on top of each other. They're waiting. They're all lined up waiting for the team to get off the floor, to get on the floor. But we have something coming later this year to address that.
Well, I noticed the last basketball game that we had there was a lot of moisture on the floor and lots of.
Yeah, we had a catastrophic, all HVAC units went down.
one at 70% immunity.
Yeah, I mean, all 4 of them went down and they'd just been serviced. And normally if one goes down, you have 3 others, you're fine. All 4 went down. Yeah, we were stressed.
Okay, we've had a motion. Do we have a motion? We need a motion on this. Motion made by Dr. Terry, seconded by Dr. Easton. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. All in favor, like sign. Motion carries. Item 11, consider and discuss 2025 racial profiling report.
Marcus.
Or you have in front of you the 2025 racial profiling report. No action is required from the board. This is thought to be for information purposes only and compliance with the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And if you review the report, you'll see that there are no concerns. Of course, if you have questions, you have to answer.
Anyone have any questions, comments? Okay, moving on to item number 12. Consider and discuss general maintenance services second round.
Board, if you recall, back in the fall, we had the first round of going out to bid for general maintenance services. And as I explained it back then, we got the idea from other colleges, other community colleges in East Texas who have been doing this. As you know, any job that we're doing that is $10,000 or greater, we have to obtain multiple quotes for that. Sometimes that can slow projects or repairs down. And so what we learned from some other colleges is they pre-bid the services for specific vendors for certain things, painting, drywall work, whatever it is, plumbing, electrical. And they pre-bid those rates, and the college enters into a general maintenance services contract with that vendor. And as long as the vendor submits their quote and they line out, their labor rates are no higher than what they bid and what the board had approved, then we're not required to get a second quote. Obviously, we still are judicious and good stewards of the college's resources. And if we are not in a rush on a repair or a project, then of course we will get multiple quotes, which is just the best practice. Or if a bid just seems high, then we'll pause things and go out for another quote. But so we went out for a second round to vendors that we do work with that were unable to meet the deadline in the fall. And so one was Leslie Jones, the other one, the Worsham Group, both of whom the colleges work with quite a bit in different capacities. And so we were asking the board to approve the college entering into general maintenance service contracts with these two vendors.
And this is done annually for each venue, each genre?
That's correct. It's per fiscal year. And so what you can expect is next September, I'll be coming back with a new set of bids to approve.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none, do we hear a motion on this?
Motion.
That's right, Singer made a motion, and they seconded to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Number 13,
Marcus, since you're doing such a great job, go ahead.
consider and discuss softball landscaping change order.
He gave you all the stuff to spend money.
Especially the change order he did. I noticed that. Always got to be a first.
Board, I bring before you a request for a change order in relation to the softball project. This is specifically the landscaping portion of that. And I hate bringing change orders as much as you hate hearing change orders, but I believe there's a good reason for this one. This change order, as you recall, the city required 2 berms to be featured in order to provide some shielding with our neighbors. Well, Hellas, who was doing the excavation work, they were able to keep the dirt on site. The result is we have one very large berm, larger than we'd expected when we originally got the quote from our landscape architect. And then we have a smaller berm along the park. Well, the result is the larger berm, it's going to be irrigated. In fact, it's just irrigated today, and it will be sodded. And so there are additional plant materials, of course. There'll be an additional exciting feature on the smaller berm. It's going to be a real add for the complex as you enter that we're excited about. And then the other change that increased the cost was instead of within the perimeter fence outside of the field, in that area, instead of having grass, which would be difficult to maintain, we explored using artificial turf or concrete. Concrete ended up being by far the least expensive option between those two. And so we are going with concrete. And so the end result is going to be a beautiful complex. I think it'll be well worth the additional cost. And it'll allow, by this time next week, that large berm will have green grass on it, it'll have sod on it, and it'll be a finished product by the time we play in our first game. So bringing this change order to you The difference, the change order is for $58,625.
And, included in this will be a lot of different foliage and stuff that'll be on the other berm. And also we're going to irrigate all around the fitness center to improve the looks of that.
Yes, sir. In process right now.
Any questions on this matter, from, Marcus?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We had a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item number 14, consider and discuss certification of unopposed candidates. Board, you have before you a documentation on the three for District 1, 2, and 3. There was 3 places open. There was no one filed for these offices, and so this motion is to authorize signing that that's the case. Do we have any discussion?
Wasn't there a deadline?
It was when was it?
It was February the 13th at 5 p.m. for placing your application for a place on the ballot. And then on February the 17th, the deadline was 5 p.m. for write-in candidacy. And we had nobody come or inquire about any of the open spots.
We'll save you some money.
Yes.
Lots of money, actually.
Well, that's the next motion we're gonna make about.
Yes.
So
So we can approve the certification of
can
unemployment.
we, we need a motion, or if there's no more discussion on certification of these certificates for District 1, 2, and 3.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Dr. Easton, did you make it?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign. Item number 15, consider and discuss canceling the May 2nd, 2026 election for Districts 1, 2, and 3.
Make that motion to cancel the election.
Like, Dr. Monday seconded.
Thank you.
We have a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item number 15, consider and discuss personnel updates.
Board, before you have all resignation, termination, non-renewal, retirement, new hire, reclassifications, and promotion. This need board approval.
Is there a motion? Mr. Curran made a motion.
Second.
Second, Trustee Rose. All in motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Dr. Reisinger,
Make the motion to adjourn.
seconded by Ron Day. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Thank y'all.
Thank you.